All right, this is James Pelton, and as you can tell, I'm still on my trip at a hotel, so hopefully my internet holds up here. That's been the hardest part of this whole vacation has been finding solid internet. So can you guys all, I just want to verify if you're here, please hit the like button. Appreciate that. And also, can you hear me okay? Do I sound all right? And is my internet doing okay and all those things? You'll have to let me know if I start cutting out. Just comment down below. But the project that I want to look at today, I want to take some of your guys' questions and just kind of hang out a little bit and talk through just what you guys have on your mind and things like that. But there we go. That's a little better quality. But I want to talk through Titan Finance. Okay, that's the project that I want to look at today. So please hit the like button. And let's see. I always have to think of a question. I'm not very creative. For some reason, I really just like to hear where people like to travel. I love to travel. So where's your favorite place to travel? So again, right now I'm at Monterey Bay in California, hanging out with my family a little bit. But again, do these AMAs as a little break from the vacation. So we're going to be talking about Titan Finance. And if you have questions specifically about Titan, please do ask. If you have general questions that you'd like to just to ask me, usually I have someone else on here, and so I want to respect their time, but you don't have to respect my time. So feel free to ask about any projects you're curious about, and then after we talk through Titan Finance a little bit, we'll try to get to those and do just a little bit of a hangout session and a little bit of QA, question and answer. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll talk through Titan Finance a little bit. Share screen, window, Titan Finance. All right, so here is the project we're talking about. So it's an auto compounder, okay? And so when they approached me and said, hey, would you like to do a video on our project? My first thought was no. I'm kind of over these auto staking and auto compound projects just because because what they need is a revenue stream. So what we're really finding is whether it be nodes, DAOs, auto stakers, whatever the case might be, what these really are fundraisers that give you a certain amount of runway for you to build a revenue stream. But then you need to, first off, probably get rid of the auto compounder because the APY is too high for any revenue stream to ever keep up with it. Or you need to do that. You need to lower the APY, and then you need a revenue to start bolstering the price of the token, or else when people start selling, there's just nothing to keep it up. There's nothing to counteract that selling pressure, especially when we're in the bear market. When we were in the bull market, you could rely on new money coming in, and that would give you even a longer runway. So it's not going to be sustainable forever, right? You still need a revenue stream at some point. But if there's new people coming in, that gives you a longer runway. And then you can do some tokenomic games to extend the runway a little further. But you really need a revenue stream. So when Titan first came to me, I was like, nah, I'm kind of done with the auto stakers. And you look at the website, and it's kind of a lot of things that I'm used to seeing, like 125,000% APY. It's like, I'm not really too interested in that. I'm not a huge fan of this either, because talking about how much you can earn in a year with this 125,000, because it's like we haven't seen any of these last for a year. So and some of this is similar to what we've seen in other auto compounders with what they're doing with their treasury, and they're using some of their treasury to bolster up the price of the token. The afterburner, so this is they're burning a percentage of each sale, and all that's well and good. But so you might ask, well, if you don't like auto compounders, then why did you say you'd walk through Titan? And there was a couple reasons. The first is they have revenue streams already in place. Okay, so I was very surprised to learn they have a DEX already built and a launch pad already built. Okay, and that's actually pretty big, because there's a lot of projects that I hear are building a DEX, which a DEX is just this swap feature, right? There's a lot of projects I've heard about that are building a DEX or building a launch pad, but usually it's going to be a while. And so it's like, well, hopefully you finish it before we run out of new buyers and the price of the token starts to crash. So that was the first thing that caught my mind, caught my eye. The second thing was just there is a lot of hype around this token. So you'll notice in the title of this, I put Dgen, okay? Because this is a Dgen play, but there is money to be made even in Dgen plays, okay? So when you see pre-sales, they sold out, I think it was 3,600 BNB in like an hour, okay? So there's a lot of hype around this. They have revenue streams in place. So I think there is potential here for at the very least, a short-term play where you jump in and make sure you take your initial out, take some profit. But depending on how they're able to get this launch pad and the DEX to work, then there might even be long-term potential there. Okay, so I think very, very different than most of the auto compounders that we've looked at. I want to show you the chart here real quick. So this was their sale. Then you see, I don't think there was vesting on the pre-salers. So I imagine this dump was some of the pre-salers, not expecting the price to jump like this. So then they hop out. And then we've actually seen pretty steady growth here, which is actually, this is a fairly nice chart. We're still very early. We're still very Dgen, but Dgen with a revenue source. So, you like to see that. So I'm going to look at some of the comments that we got. Has there been any auto compounder projects that have sustained its value over 6 months? How does Titan propose that they will be different? Yes, so that was exactly my initial thoughts when I looked at Titan, and it was the fact that they already have revenue streams in place. I would have liked to have the team on for an AMA. That's that's what I usually like to do, but they weren't available at this time. So what I'd also like to know from them is how long they're going to keep the APY this high, because even if you're getting revenue from the DEX, you're not going to get this much revenue, right? So, this is a good way to get new investors. So what you kind of want to do, if I was running an auto compounder, what I would kind of do is you keep the APY high until hype starts to die down, then you kind of lower it as fewer people are coming in. But it's a difficult tokenomic game to be playing for sure. Let's see. Matt says, love Titan. What do you think of their announcement that the financials will all be 100% transparent? Revenue through DEX, launch pad, and pre-sale system. Yes, I very much like that. I think that's how, and really, I think that's how all projects should be. That's how I try to make my YouTube videos, is just 100% transparent, just show you everything that's going on out there. So yes, I like that quite a bit. Was happy to get into the pre-sale. Where we go? Was happy to get into the pre-sale, sold out so quickly. Yes, if you got in the pre-sale, again, it's very risky getting in on pre-sales because a lot of times they rug pull, a lot of times the launch doesn't go well, etc., etc. But if you got in on this pre-sale, you made a pretty penny. Okay, so again, and I always go back and forth because some people say, right now they'll say, why didn't you do an AMA pre-sale? And they asked me to do an AMA pre-sale, but I've seen so many launches not go well where I've kind of just determined I'm not going to do very many pre-sale AMAs because what can happen is I do an AMA, pre-sale, and people get in early and then the launch goes wrong and then they blame me that the launch didn't go well. So I'd rather, hey, let's wait here, and we missed out on this big pump here, but we know we're probably not going to rug pull, and the launch did not have problems. And that reminds me actually about their launch pad. A few cool things they're doing with their launch pad is they're including a KYC with it and marketing packages. And then they're taking a portion of all the revenue from the projects that they run the launch pad for, and it goes back to support the Titan token. Okay, so I think that's a pretty cool way of doing it. They're also, and I don't know exactly how this works, but they're making it so that it's very easy to, if you want to start a fork, like we'll say a tomb fork. You guys know I love tomb forks. Their launch pad is going to make it super easy to do that. And then they get a portion of the revenue that they're going to use to help bolster up the Titan project. So AJ says this is better positioned than other auto compounding protocols, and I agree with that 100%. Just because they have revenue streams already built, and I'm kind of, not only do I want to see revenue streams, but I'm kind of tired of people saying they're building revenue streams. I'm kind of over that because we wait so long, wait years, and it just never comes. So yes. Sustainability isn't possible without revenue streams, like you said. Yes. And, I believe in the bear market or in the bull market, it was. You could rely on new investors coming in, and there was enough new investors where you didn't need a revenue stream and you could just live. But what we're seeing now, you look at the market cap of all of crypto is 1.2 trillion. Well, it was almost 3 trillion in like October of last year. So we're not having new investors, and there's not a lot of new investors coming in. Although Bitcoin's doing well today, that's good to see. We don't have a lot of new investors coming in. So yeah, during the bear market, revenue streams are going to be so crucial to seeing. You're either going to have revenue streams, or you're going to have to be very, very long-term focused. And I can tell you with APY this high, if you run the math for where that's going to be in 5 years, it's not gonna be there. They're gonna have to change that APY before then. Martin says this is the best project out there, and yeah, there is a lot of hype around it, and hype, is important. So some people think hype is not good, but in investing, hype is, one of the key things that you're looking for. If there's not hype, that means the price of the coin is probably not going to be going up. So again, another thing I'm looking at is buys to sells ratio. And I'd be curious to know how many of the pre-sale people are out. How many of these people have pre-sale tokens that they're still holding on to, because sometimes you can see I would expect a bigger dump than this from the pre-sale people, but sometimes it's just a little bit hard to tell. Let's see, volume will be key. They would need to have high volume in order to succeed in long run with the utilities. Yes. So they'll need, especially in this launch pad, if they're able to get a lot of people that are launching their project through this, and they're able to take a percentage of all these different projects, then that could definitely be successful. And that's one of the things I would like to ask the team is kind of, what do you propose marketing wise? I suppose maybe I'll be a part of that. I don't know. If someone was starting up like a tomb fork and they wanted to know how should I get started, I might send them to a place like this if they make it super easy. And Martin says orbital is going to be big. Yes, I agree, man. You guys are killing it with the questions and comments. So yeah, keep them coming. Yeah, if you do have questions, and again, it can be about this. When I'm done talking about this, I'd love to chat about whatever else you might have on your mind. Would love to see that. See, it's amazing to see that the PCS fees are gone and all fees benefit the protocol. Also, another income stream is partner projects provide income from fees and tokens to help feed Titan. Yes, I did not mention that. They're partners, which, let me see, I think it's listed on the website somewhere. I just have to find it. Maybe in the white paper. Is that where I saw it? I remember seeing a list of their partners. I remember Piggy Finance. Does anybody in the comments, maybe you guys know? Sometimes I wonder why I'm even here, because you guys usually understand what's going on better than I do. But Piggy Finance was one that I know they're partnered with, and Hair Finance, which Hair Finance actually has something interesting. They're working on they have a DEX of sorts too, but they're allowing you to do DCA swaps, I believe. Which is super interesting. If you guys know, I love my KuCoin dollar cost average bots, because I don't usually, if I'm going to put $5,000 into something, I don't want to put $5,000 just straight into it. I'd rather buy $500 a day for 10 days or something like that. So you don't get in at the very bottom, or you don't get into the very top or the very bottom. You dollar cost average in. But a lot of tokens, if it's not on KuCoin, I don't have a way to DCA in. So a swap, doing some kind of a DCA thing, it would be super cool. And I think I think that's what Hare's working on, and their partners that Orbital and Titan are partnered with, they get revenue from them. So yes, thanks for saying that. Good afternoon. Would this token be susceptible to big whale dumps? I don't believe, when I was looking through it, I don't believe I saw any kind of like a huge whale tax or anything like that. So again, this is why I like to have the team. I'm going to say something wrong. It's going to be so embarrassing. So I believe that yes, I mean they are susceptible to big whale dumps. That's one of the issues with these auto compounders. Now there is taxes. So if a whale dumps, a big chunk of that goes back to the protocol. But yes, they are susceptible to that. And when I'm usually concerned about that is especially in the pre-sale. Because if you got tokens for 5 cents and then now it's up at 10 cents, or 12 cents, there's a temptation to sell all your tokens and just 2x your money real quick. So I think that's what we might have seen here was this dump from pre-sale people, and hopefully most of them have been cleared out, and then it's people who more believe in the project. But yes, I hope that answers your question. We have Yabonks here, who I believe he is also doing a Titan video here soon. So if you're not following Yabonks, go check him out on YouTube and subscribe to him. And if you're just joining me, please do like this video and ask questions. Give me content, ask questions, what you're curious about. I'm in Monterey, California right now. So on my trip, I'm missing my fiber internet. I'm missing my microphone. I'm missing my office. But I'm having a good time. Let's see. I'm more excited about their launch pad. Other projects being launched will contribute to their treasury. Yes, I think you're totally right, because that's they get them off the floor, but then those projects if the project doesn't end up working out, it's really no loss, to Titan, to Orbital. But if that project takes off and they get a portion of that, then that is pretty awesome. I believe quality projects will raise money this way and then change it. Yes, like Sphere. I think you're exactly right. And that's what you want to see. If a project is coming in as just an auto compounder, if this is the end of what they're doing, is, hey, we offer 125,000% APY, and it's going to be sustainable because we burn 3% of transactions, and they have no plans for revenue or anything like that, then you need to run away. That's not going to last very long. This can be a way to raise some revenue to build something else. But yeah, for sure. Martin says, announced a new project on Launchpad already. And I did not know that. So that's very cool. Do you know what project it was, Martin? So that's pretty cool. I was not aware of that. APY is so low. Yes, it is. It's very, very low. Compared to some of these other projects it's crazy how it becomes a race to the top. Like I see that and I'm like, ugh. And what I really don't like, and I'm sorry if you're on the Titan team, I do not like these things that try to say, if you put $1,000 in, you'll have $1 million at the end of the year. Or the calculators, those are the worst thing to hit DeFi ever. Let's see. I see Ring people here. Let's see. Hey, we got a donation. Definitely going to answer your question. The team has done an amazing job and blown expectations. They've already secured partners and tokens already launching with Orbital, such as Dibs. Yes, it is very cool. I was not expecting them to come with so much already ready to go. Again, I'm used to on these AMAs just hearing, we're building this. We're going to build this. I'm pretty sure the team is doxxed, or at least not anonymous. They've been been on live streams already. I think that you're right. That probably should have been something I looked into before this. Honestly, I don't care as much about the doxing as some people do, just because I've been burned by doxed people and I've been treated well by undoxed people. Some of the people who believe in true decentralization don't want to dox, like Forex Shark and some of those guys. And, I'm totally fine with that. So sometimes I forget to even look at that. But I think you're right that they've done some live streams and things like that. They were not able to hop on for this video. So yes. All right. You guys are awesome. Yeah, keep the questions coming. There's Certic KYC on Piggy Finance and just completed their audit with 0 outstanding issues. Yes, thank you. James, watch the burn rate this week. I will watch. Hype is important and also dangerous. Yes, very much so. So hype is important, but it is dangerous too, because if you're relying on hype, I mean, we've seen this. Should I name some projects by name? Okay, I will. So Seifu, okay, we'll use that as an example. Seifu was so hyped, right? So much hype. But the problem is if you're not able to keep the hype going, then it starts to go down. Okay, so that is the problem with hype. What I like to see in a chart is not huge jump. I'd rather see a steady. And again, we only have 2 days of history, so we don't know what this is going to do going forward. Let's see, better. Yeah, so this is, we don't know what this is going to do going forward. But I imagine, at least for the short term, this is going to be a good Dgen play. This is not financial advice, but the way I look at it, I would buy and then try to get my initial out, but I imagine this could go up. We're at a pretty low market cap still. There is a significant amount of hype, and they do have revenue. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Oh man, you guys are great. I have to scroll up to see old comments. When ape in? Now, feel free. I was in on the pre-sale and have not sold. And by the way, Swad, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. This has been an expensive trip that we're on, so I appreciate the donation. I was in on pre-sale and have not sold. That's awesome. So April is well into profit. Let's see. MC market cap started crazy low. Do you think it has the potential to reach the market cap highs of most comparable projects, Titano and Seifu? It has potential to, for sure. I think what I would not like go, if it was me, I would not go all in. I would kind of keep an eye on how the launch pad is received, because someone before mentioned it's going to require some, it's like, why are people going to come here to this launch pad instead of somewhere else? So we're going to have to kind of see if this launch pad catches on. This would be a great time. Maybe dollar cost average in would be my best advice. How are they going to counteract inflation that kills 9 out of 10 projects? Yes, so the goal is the revenue, and then I'm hoping that they don't keep the APY this high for very long. So you want to keep it to get those new investors in. Some people are APY chasers, and so you'll get them in, but hopefully not too long. Commander Soud has spoken. Moon soon, sir. Yes. Are you planning to invest in Titan, or have you already? I have not yet. I will probably dollar cost average in. Usually a project like this, I'll put in 2K. That's kind of my general, like, something that I think is interesting. Then that's what I usually do is 2K. So again, that's going to be different for each person. It kind of depends too. Sometimes whether I get into a project is just if I have spare capital laying around. Like I've had a lot of expenses here recently with this trip and stuff, so I don't have a ton of spare capital sitting around right now. So we'll see. You can promise to turn, we're keeping it PG, so I'm going to say crap, into gold with a touch and get $1 million these days. Yes, that is true. And that is the problem with hype, is there might not be anything there. And it's just hype that's kind of, getting people. It's the hype that's raising the price of the token rather than there actually being something good that's raising the token. Let's see. And Yabonks, who I take his word for it, I don't think there is whale protection. So I think you're right. And then, yeah, definitely go check out Yabonks. Also, Nick's Crypto Investments. Go check out him on his YouTube channel as well. So we got a lot of fellow YouTubers here for sure. What was pre-sale price? I believe it was 5 cents. If I remember correctly. Again, I'm not on the team or anything, just doing a video covering it. So it was, I believe the pre-sale price was 5 cents. It went up to 12 cents immediately. And then, yeah, there was kind of a dump down, and then now it's kind of worked its way back up to about 9 cents. So if you were in the pre-sale, you're still 2x, not including the auto rebasing, which is 2.5% a day or so. The good thing is Titan Orbital actually helps these projects, PCS dump fees, and cause mass panic with zero contribution to the project. Yes, I'm having a hard time reading that, but I'm sure you're right. Make sure you see the aquarium in Monterey. Yes, we're actually planning on going there either this evening or tomorrow. So very cool. This project launching and listing these projects on their decks will be huge, I think. Lots of volume will give the platform big revenue. And I think that is that's the biggest question to see, is how well they're able to market and just get a lot of volume in, for sure. So Dibs money is the new project. Okay, so Dibs is the project that's using their launchpad. Awesome. Golden from Piggy Finance is also doxed. So Dow King is advising their project. Yes. So Dow King is another YouTuber, and he's advising on the project. He's actually the one that got in touch with me to talk about Titan. So yes. Are you hyped about Sphere? So I hate to talk about kind of a competitor to Titan. So I will just mention, yes, I am very hyped about Sphere and that they're stopping the rebase of tokens. So I started DCAing. As soon as Sphere announced they were stopping rebasing, I started DCAing in. Yabonk says they have a team of 9 total. I don't know if they're all doxed. Yes. So, yeah, thank you, Yabonks. Can you explain a little more about this compounding? Yeah, I guess, sorry. Yeah, I took that for granted. So basically what these auto compounders do is they're the easiest way to get into DeFi. You just buy the token. So, and then it's nice. Yeah, I'm glad when you click buy, they take you to their decks and not like Pancake Swap or something like that. But all you have to do is buy the token, and you'll probably need to raise slippage. I wish they had an auto tax. That's kind of nice that some of the other ones have. It doesn't look like they have that here, but you probably need to raise the slippage to like 17 maybe. And then you buy the token, and then all you need to do in these auto compounders, you don't have to stake it or anything. It'll just in your wallet start growing at 125% APY, which is probably like 2.3% daily. So it's just a really easy way to get into DeFi. You just buy it, and then it just starts accumulating in your wallet. The danger with those is that people end up with a lot of tokens in their wallet. So when they leave, if people lose faith, if the hype dies down, people lose faith in the project, then they're able to dump really fast because they've accumulated just a ton of tokens. So that's been the problem we've seen with some of these projects, some of these auto compounders. But they're definitely a good way of raising capital off the get-go. Okay, they're doxed. They did a live stream with Dow King. They're all doxed. Watch AMAs. Okay, I believe you. I believe you. When will things open up? It is open now, so you can buy now off Orbital. So if you just go to their website, titan.finance, and go to buy Titan, you can buy right now. So pre-sale's over, and they're ready to go. Let's see. You heard James. Ape in now. Not financial advice, but ape in. And yeah, I mean, dollar cost average, if you are worried about the price, maybe dollar cost average over a week and kind of see where it goes from here. The bummer is if you wait, what if it 10x's? Then you're like, oh man, I missed the 10x. And then you have to decide if 10x is to decide, do I want to get it now that it's 10x? Because it could, what's the opposite of 10x? Minus 10x? I don't know. 0.1x, maybe we'll call it that. But if you get in now, there's a chance, maybe, I don't know. You just never know what happens with these projects. So maybe dollar cost average in, all the normal things, diversify, don't risk more than you can afford to lose, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you for your honest review on Titan. Yes, and it is nice not doing an AMA because I do feel a little more open to, be just honest about what I'm thinking. Sometimes I'm a pretty nice guy, and I'm getting better at it about not being a nice guy. But sometimes during the AMAs, I get to like the team so much where I don't like push maybe as hard as I should. So it is nice kind of doing it by myself sometimes. So yes, it would be good to have the team on. And that's probably what I will do next is ask them to schedule, hey, let's do a live AMA with you guys next time. I'm not liking doing live AMAs while I'm on vacation because I don't know if you caught my AMAs yesterday, but I was having super bad internet problems. And I found out I was hot spotting my phone, and Verizon has this thing where if you reach a certain data threshold, I have unlimited data, but with your hotspot, if you reach a certain data, they slow it way down. So I called them and paid more and fixed it. So Yabonks is doing a code review of Titan contract after your video. So yeah, go check him out if you want to do that. I am not going to be doing a code review, although I used to be a software developer, so it might be fun sometime. But yeah, go to Yabonks. He'll dig into this probably more. So yeah, go follow him, and he'll be doing a deep dive after this as well. There's going to be so much other utility coming. DApp goes live in 2 days. So yeah, if there's I know Dow King, he told me that there was some things he could not tell me about, which is always unfortunate when you're going to make a video. You're like, hey, what's coming out? And he said there's a few things he's not supposed to say yet. But yeah, Martin, if you have some things that are coming out, that'd be great. Let us know. Let's see, pre-sale was 0.055, launch was 0.06. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so if you got in on those, you're doing pretty well now. 1.89%. I assume you mean it's 1.89% a day. So then that's where if you just auto compound, and this I always use this to highlight the power of auto compounding. 1.89% a day, does not sound like that much. Like, what is that APR wise? 1.89 times 365. That's 680, 90% APR. But if you just auto compound every 30 minutes, which is what they do, that 1.89% daily turns into 125,000% yearly. So auto compounding brings in that compounding is a lot powerful. It's refreshing to see a team people like. They seem to be stacking up partnerships and projects willing to move to orbital. Yes. So they do have, I still can't remember where I saw that list of, I was looking through their white paper. I thought that's where it was. Oh, there it is. I found it. Somebody commented this, and I see what you're saying now. Is in their white paper, page 8, they have a list of their partners. So these are the partners they have already. Piggy Finance, Alto Protocol, Hair Finance, Quantic Finance, Supernova, and Truth Seekers KYC. So it is good, when you're able to develop these partnerships right off the bat, you can tell there's something there. I can tell you ahead of time, my Titan code reviewer video isn't going to raise any huge red flags. So that's good. Looking pretty good to me so far. So that's good, to have Yabonks stamp of approval. Let's see. Not a fan of these rebase projects. Yes, I'm with you, Ben. It would take good revenue streams and them saying that they're going to get rid of auto compounding, rebasing at some point, because it's just not sustainable for very long. Are you still in Vapor nodes, and what do you think about it in the short, long run? Yes, I am still in Vapor nodes. They're working on a DEX and a chain, and I just hope they're able to do it quickly because Vapor was a pretty significant holding of mine, and the price has just not done well. So there was a while where I was making $200 a day off Vapor. Now I'm making about $11 a day. So yeah, I hope that they're able to. Yeah, I love the team. Vapor is one of my favorite teams. So I hope they're able to turn things around there with their chain and with their DEX. Would you agree that taking the initial investment out after a 2x is a good strategy? I've been burned out on more than 50% of the projects in DeFi. Eventually, one bet will 100x. So yes, I mean, taking out your initial is a good strategy. I don't always do it. Um, it kind of just depends on your situation. If you're losing a lot of money, like if you notice, hey, I put 10K into DeFi and I'm just consistently losing, then yeah, maybe you need to switch to more of a take out your initial and then ride. Um, yeah, because you're going to kick yourself if you do that, and then it 10x's. You know, if it 2x's, you take out your initial, and then it 10x's, you're going to kick yourself. But you know, another thing you can do is dollar cost average your profit. So usually we think about DCAing in, but you can also DCA out. So actually, that's what I've been doing in Titano for a long time. Is Titano? I kind of knew, okay, their price is going to crash. So what I've been doing is I take out a certain amount every day. Is kind of what I do. 1.9% and change a day. Yes. Titan Dex seems to have higher fees than other dexes. How sustainable will it be for other tokens using it when compared to other dexes remains to be seen. Yes. And that's what I mean, where it's uh, they'll have to figure out why would people use this. It pretty much looks like a pancake swap. Maybe a pancake swap fork, honestly, is what it looks like to me. So you really have to figure out, why are people going to come use this dex instead of, although that's not too high of a fee, but why are people going to come here instead of somewhere else? So if there's new features, like if they put in a DCA feature, then I would use this dex for everything. I would love that, honestly. But yeah, it does remain to be seen how much it catches on. It looks like I'm about 7 minutes behind on the comments. So if you're asking questions now, I will see them in about 7 minutes, it looks like. Let's see, even if it is a lower APY but sustainable, that would be great. Not sure how much sustainable 125K% is. Yes. So hopefully it doesn't stay there too long. Like we saw with Sphere, they started with that to kind of get it off the ground, but now they're getting rid of the rebasing. Verizon has masterful techniques for getting us to pay more money for their unlimited data, but that's a different topic. Yes. Yes. It was one of the most painful things. I felt so bad for my guest yesterday in my AMA because my internet kept cutting in and out. And then he's just sitting there with my audience like, James, are you there? So Titan is saving my portfolio. Yes. So yeah, it is doing very well. So we're only on day 3. Okay. So I don't think this is like, hey, go sell your grandma's necklaces and then buy into this. Be careful, be responsible. We're on day 3, so it's still Dgen. I put it in the title because I know people, get upset with me. They say, hey, you'll shill anything. But it's interesting. If it's interesting and I'm probably going to put in money, then I feel like I should make a video, right? Like, that's just what I feel like. What is the function of the DApp? That is a very good question. So, honestly, I don't even know. Does anybody else know the question? The answer to that? It's not live yet, and I have not heard what is the function of the DApp. So if somebody else knows, then let me know. Yabonks, do you know what the function of the DApp is going to be? Big opportunity with this project, yes. Thinking of taking out 1% every day as profit. So yeah, that's one way to do it. If you're getting 1.89% a day, take out 1% of your Titan each day would be one way to do that. On Orbital, click the 3 dots next to trade. Good volume already. So if we go to the info here, so this is the volume. So yeah, 647K. A lot of liquidity. So I mean, that's really good to see. A lot of liquidity, and yeah, they do. I mean, that is for being so new, doing 187K of volume on a DEX is pretty good. So wrapped BNB to Titan. They have pools on here already. So yeah, that is good to see. You like to see that. Hair Finance is supposed to be implementing DCA to Orbital. Okay, very cool. That's what I was wondering. I knew Hair had DCA and they were working on that. That would be a game changer because you can't do that on Pancake Swap. Like if I want to buy, a certain amount of a certain token, if I want to DCA, I have to go do it myself. Um, they have futures now on PancakeSwap. That sounds dangerous. Up to 100x leverage. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Stay away from that. Let's see. I sold a kidney to buy Titan. Will DCA with the other kidney soon? No, keep at least one kidney. Okay, keep at least one kidney. You know, actually, if you give a little bit of your liver, I hear your liver grows back. So then you could give more later. And I'm only kidding. Do not donate organs. But organs are more important than money. Okay, so don't be selling body parts for money. Don't do it. Dgen life is the only life. Yeah, it is fun. You know, it's kind of boring. I'm trying on my main YouTube channel to do a lot less Dgen stuff and just like solid stuff, but there's just not as much content then. It's like, well, okay, there's only so many projects that are like super solid, have been around for years and have a good revenue stream and all that. So I'm having it's more fun being Dgen for sure. Sold my nan. Oh, you sold your grandma. Buy one, get her free with the necklaces. Got double the Titan. Okay, good. Yes, so we got some people that like it. Hair Finance, Alto, Ames, A-Share. That's a lot of dots. Oh, and the other one I mentioned earlier. Yes, good to see all the partnerships. I think the DApp will probably have farming and staking pools. Just my guess. Okay, yes, I'm not sure what's going to be in the DApp for sure. Have you looked into their partnerships and bonuses? So I have not looked into what I know they get revenue from the partnerships, and then I looked into who the partners were. And I like Piggy Finance. I believe Quantic is doing very poorly. I think they're down quite a bit. But I like Alto. I like Hair and some of the things they're doing. So, and you like to just see partnerships, in general. Dgen Life Forever. Nice. The DApp will show everything you need. You'll have a calculator. Hopefully, I don't like the calculators. I hope they don't do the calculator. My feedback, if anybody from the team is watching, don't do the calculator. Okay, it's misleading. Those calculators are. It might also be where you can interact with Ty shares to buy and sell Ty shares. Also might be where they host their cross-chain bridge. And we do need better bridging protocols. That'd be another cool thing to see in Orbital, is if they did some kind of bridging thing. I would like that. Just give it a week or two or even 3 to put in more money. Wait for the price performance. Yeah, so you could do that. You could wait, or you could dollar cost average. Maybe you do. If you want to put in $1,000, put in $333 once a week for 3 weeks. That's a possibility. The DApp will also probably have their wrapping utility, and we're not talking about like wrap, M&M, but a lot of times these rebase tokens, kind of the new thing to do is you wrap them, and mostly I think that is so you can get listed on like CoinMarketCap and things like that. CoinMarketCap, just the way they're set up, you can't list a straight rebase token, I believe. And Yabank says these are just his guesses. How are they combating against bots? Well, most bots are just during the launch. There's not really a ton that bots can do now. Now that we're past that initial launch, what usually the bots do is when you first launch. Where's the chart? When you first launch, the price is obviously low. So what the bots do is they buy it up and they change slippage to what it needs to be, and front load everybody's transactions so that the bots get everything down here and pump the price way up. So that's usually what bots do. So bots are usually like an at launch type thing. And then when it gets up to where they think is the peak, then the bots all dump. And then the people who made the bots get a quick, 3x, and they might have put in 100K or something like that, and they make 200K. So that's what the bots do. Here, I don't know that there's a lot of risk of bots doing much after that. So, and James says, sell your liver for Titan. I did say that, and you could take it out of context. But yeah. Also, do they know how to fight flash loans? And so I don't think the flash loans will be, I don't know that we've seen auto compound projects. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the flash loan attacks are effective against the auto rebasers. Part of that is because there's a buy tax and a sell tax, so you can't just flash loan and buy. Usually when the flash loan attacks happen is when there's some token on, like a peg or something, and what they can do is a flash loan. Sometime I'll do a full video on this. Maybe a flash loan is basically if you can borrow money, and the blockchain is being written to every so often, so you can borrow money and do stuff with it, and as long as you return the money before the block is printed, then you're able to basically borrow as much money as you want. So you have to kind of say, here's what I'm going to do with the money, but I promise within a block, I will return as much as I borrow. And so then if you're able to find a little exploit, like in a peg token, you're able to see, oh, if I sell this token, the peg goes down, and then I can buy this other token the peg is supporting, and people find these holes, and then they're able to, do this flash loan for $1 million into this little peg hole, and then they're able to make a bunch of money off of it. But I don't think that the auto compounders, that the flash loans will be able to do anything against them, because there's not really like a ton of tokenomic games being played, or there's not pegs going on. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. Orbital liquidity pool farms will be huge opportunity for LP providers to make money. This DEX is growing to grow fast. So yes, definitely potential there. And I'm now only 5 minutes behind in comments. So if you make a comment, I'll see it in 5 minutes. It may be a good trend that these projects are creating partnerships and working for new ways to have utility in the crypto space, much like Sphere, 100 Days, Smart Nodes. Yes. I think people are realizing, hey, these aren't going to last unless there's something else. And Yabank says, don't sell body parts for tokens. Sage advice. Yes. Thank you. James Wisdom here. Don't sell body parts for tokens. Do you have a Dgen wallet? How's it looking? I do kind of, and you kind of see a lot of it in like my journey to 10K. I don't. We've seen so much of this recently. I haven't been getting into a ton of Dgen stuff, and honestly, this might be surprising. But I actually have a lot of real life expenses that have come up. So we have 4 college students that are staying with us, and we've had medical bills and just some different charities that I'm supporting and all this. So actually, it might surprise you when you watch like my journey to 10K a day and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm finding it hard to find enough money to put into some of these projects. But this is one I'll probably DCA in a bit. The Quantic Finance partnership is based around their new Cube miner with a partnership infrastructure built into it for bonus rewards based on how many partner tokens you hold. That sounds interesting. One of my takeaways from this is you should go watch Yabank's video. It'll probably have more info. And he's got a better background, not just the hotel bathroom you can see over there. We're at a Holiday Inn Express in Monterey. You can come find me if you're in the area. The white paper says we also plan to have a loan and borrow program and make money off the assets in the afterburner as part of our long-term roadmap. So yeah, that's an interesting idea, loan and borrow program. Yeah, you have to be careful with that. If it goes along with the launch pad, you'll have to figure out what happens if, what kind of collateral are you going to have? If someone needs to take a loan, what are they going to have as collateral to back up that loan would be one question. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that fits in. Got to get them TIE shares. Owning a part of the DEX and being rewarded in BNB from the DEX fees is Liddy. Yes. If you don't know what a TIE share is, that is another token that they have that's going to be, if I understand it right, it's kind of going to be like an ownership, basically what you said, an ownership of the DEX, and the reward comes in BNB from that. But we're not sure on what the APR is going to be, because it's going to be based on real fees. So The Titan code has bot blacklist function in the contract. It auto blacklists any wallet that has a code contract in it and doesn't allow them to buy, sell, or interact at all recently. Cool. Can you take out at any time or is it locked? So yeah, nice thing about the compounders. Well, it's bittersweet. Double-edged sword, but you can't, it is not locked. You can take it out at any time. Sometimes that's not good though, because when it's locked, you know that not everyone can dump at the same time. And what we've seen with some of these compounding projects, these auto rebase projects, is if a piece of bad news comes out or people just lose confidence or there's just a dip, sometimes since nobody's tokens are locked, people can dump very quickly, is one kind of negative thing about these. Ben says, EMP money is the only project I'm excited about right now, as there are many ways to interact with the protocol. Yes, I love EMP money. One of my top 5 projects right now. What do you think of the TiShares plan? They plan to offer that entitles holders to split 75% of Orbital DEX fees. This could be very lucrative when the volume of Orbital is big. Yes. So I like that. I like tokens too, that you're going to get a lower return than you would if there was like a guaranteed return, but it's going to be more sustainable. And so I like that. I'd rather you get a percentage of the real revenue rather than just a promised, 125,000% APY that is going to make the token price. It's going to inflate things too much. Didn't they launch with stuff already built instead of the other protocols who get millions in their treasury and then hire devs? Yes, that's exactly what impressed me. I see a lot of projects. I'll even say like Titano, for example, where it's like they didn't have a plan. They got millions of dollars and then didn't really have a plan of what they were going to do with it. So then they go out and try to save it later. I'll say this, that's what I think happened with Thor also, is they, started on this Gods of Asgard game, which is really cool, by the way, but it's, kind of late. So the token price is very low. And that's different with Orbital, as they started out with some stuff already. Let's see. EMP is great only if you have big bags. I disagree. What about you can get into the nodes. The detonator might only be good if you have a big bag, but I think the nodes are still worth it. You still get that 1% or so. Is 100 Days launching on their decks? I'm not sure about that. I had an AMA with 100 Days. I can't remember if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, but I do not remember. Let's see. Looking around at questions. If you're in Monterey, you need to go to walk around Point Labos Park. One of my favorites. I'm in San Jose. Okay, awesome. We'll check that out. We got crepes from Brittany's Crepes, and then we just been walking around the ocean. We're from Nebraska, so we're just seeing the ocean is enough for like my kids to be pretty impressed. We also have a student staying with us from Rwanda in Africa, Central Africa, and she's never visited the ocean. She's flown over it but never seen it, so that's been pretty fun. Titan is at a stage where Titano was after 6 months as far as utilities go. And objectively, I think you're right. I think that's a true statement. That Titan has some stuff built that I've heard people talking about, oh, we're building a DEX. And it's like, man, Titan got a DEX out before they were even launched. So that is impressive. Whatever happened with Illuvium? I don't know that anything happened with them. I mean, they've been having their land sale launched, so you can go get involved with that. I mean, they've been having token price issues, as everyone has in the bear market, but I mean, Illuvium is still a long-term play. It's still going to be a big metaverse play. Fire truck in the background. Let's see, what's the difference between TiShare and Orbital tokens? So let's see. So they have 3 tokens total. So they have the Titan token, which is the rebase token. Then they have the TiShares token. Can somebody tell me what is the difference with the Orbital token? This is why you got to have the team on. I don't know. We'll let somebody else answer that. Go ask your Bonks. I'm sure he knows. Would you be excited to see Titan burn reaching over 51%. Yeah, you know, I go back and forth on the burning, because it really, you know, maybe I shouldn't get into this too much, but it really doesn't matter how much you burn. If you're still giving that 125, it doesn't really matter how many tokens are not out there. It matters how many tokens are out there. Because if you're still giving the 125,000%, I understand burning is good, but like, again, I'm trying not to name projects too specifically, but we'll say like Drip, for example. Okay, so Drip had to start minting new tokens because they were promising this 1% APY. So Drip just started minting new tokens. You know, they had 1 million and they said, hey, we're not going to go over 1 million. They had to start minting because, so I don't really care about what tokens are not in circulation. I care about what tokens are in circulation. So if you're offering 125,000% APY, that's what I care about is, hey, those tokens are getting out there, if that makes sense. So like burning doesn't really excite me that much, personally. And like, you know, again, I'm not trying to bash on any projects, but like Seifu came in, you know, talking about how much they're burning, et cetera, with their fire pit and stuff. It's not helped the price of the token. So yeah, I don't know. Do you self-host your KDA miner? I do. So I have 2 KD5s and a KD6 plugged into my basement. They heat up my house quite well. And I'm hoping the price of Kadena goes up because if the price of Kadena stays where it is, those were not good investments. I will say that. I am in the negative on those. AVAX-based rebase projects are having bad luck lately. Yes. Yes, and I would agree. EMP money, if you believe in Ethereum, the only thing that can crush, not the only thing, but a thing that would crush EMP is if the price of Ethereum goes, you know, way, way, way down. That's going to be hard. Are you into Bitcoin mining or Hydro Whales NFT? Yes, I can't remember how, I have at least 2 Hydro Whales NFTs. I might have more. I can't remember exactly how many I ended up with. And then I'm mining Ethereum. I don't currently have any Bitcoin miners. I know your friend Andy, who I really good friends with him. And that reminds me, by the way, I forgot to mention this. But if you guys feel like, so everybody's been asking me, hey, start your own Discord group, okay? Start your own paid Discord group. We want to ask questions, kind of like what we're doing here, right? And so I've thought about that for a long time. I know it would be a good money-making opportunity to kind of start a, you know, paid Discord group, and you can charge quite a bit for that. And but it just is too much work, and I don't have that much bandwidth. And so what I did instead was I kind of, Andy and Colin, if you know Decade Investor, they have this Sleep Money Club, ZZZ Money Club, and there's 2 of my best friends in crypto, okay? And so I really like them. So I kind of just asked them, hey, could I just like have my own channel in Sleep Money Club and then tell people, hey, this is my paid Discord group, and then I get half of the revenue that from people signing up. So that's what I ended up doing. So I'll just put the link. Here's the link to Sleep Money Club, my referral link. And then there's a ton in Sleep Money Club. You get access to your friend Andy, to call in, and they bring in paid teachers to teach TA and NFTs. There's actually a lot in there. I've learned a ton from there. And then I have just my own James Pelton channel where you can go in there, and I try to at least 3 or 4 times a day, I hop in there and try to answer all the questions. So yeah, definitely you can hop in there if you feel so inclined. Okay, so the orbital tokens are their liquidity pool tokens. Okay, very cool. And then TiShares would be the governance token. And then MDB is killing it, yes. We're still figuring out some of the utilities for Orb at the moment. Yes, so some of this is not totally in place. So the DApp is not there. Oh, Cornelius is on the team, by the way. Okay. All right, welcome, Cornelius. Thank you, brother, for joining us. Just tuned in. What did I miss? You might have to catch the replay. So you've missed quite a bit. We're about an hour in. And by the way, if you're just joining us or watching the replay, please do hit the like button. And do leave a comment. Again, those things help the algorithm just to show more people This video will be, you can watch it immediately afterwards, but it won't show up in the uploaded section of my channel for 24 hours. Sometimes people get alarmed. They're like, hey, that video didn't show up. It just takes 24 hours. Top 5 alternative stable coins apart from UST. Probably right now, USDC is my favorite. I mean, I use USDT just because that's what everyone, like KuCoin relies on USDT. BUSD seems to be pretty solid as well. I would rather not have my money sitting around in stable coins. I'd rather have it in Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. MDB, somebody mentioned MDB Plus is a stable coin that's doing really well. So I might prefer that. Even if Orbital does a few million in volume a day, would be massive for Titan. And, if I get a chance, I might, I love my spreadsheets, but I might sit down and run some of the numbers where, if they get $1 million in volume a day through their DEX, what does that look like to the price of the token compared to the APY that they're giving out? Still so early, not even trading for 2 days. Yes. And so, don't forget that we are very, very early into this. So again, high risk, high reward. We don't know how things are going to turn out, but very high risk, high reward. People think that minting automatically drops price and burn increases. You can mint trillions. If you don't sell them, price won't change. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to get across, is that I don't really care. Just the way I look at it, I'm not a tokenomics expert, but the way I've seen it play out is it doesn't really matter how many tokens there are. Like you said, it matters how many tokens are sold. That's really bought and sold. So I don't really like, burning doesn't really make me excited. Minting doesn't concern me too much, except for the fact that if you're minting a lot, that means there's more to be sold. So I mean, that's concerning, obviously. But yes, what lowers and raises the price of something is buying and selling. So someone correct me if I'm wrong, though. People talk really highly like about these burning. Like some projects, who was I talking to where they're going to do a burning party once a week or something like that? And I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me exactly why that's such good news. Is Tysher launching in 2 weeks? Any whitelist for that? I don't know. Maybe we can talk with Cornelius. We can maybe ask him. I can probably grab some whitelists. Maybe I'll have a tweet about that, giving away some whitelists. I am not totally sure. I'm going to definitely take a look at it. I like to get in on farms early. That's when you get the highest return, but we'll have to wait and see. Scratch that. We're creating the orb token to figure out how the YouTube algorithm works. There you go. Yes. Yeah. Leave a like, leave a comment. This is interesting. I'm 3 minutes behind on comments now. So it's like things I remember talking about 3 minutes ago or where I'm at in the comments. Where do you see Titan going in a month? So I'm excited to hear there's already a project using their launchpad. What I'll be keeping my eyes on is volume in the DEX, which again, that is good to see already that this is more than I would have expected. For it being so early. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. This is another thing. There's a lot of liquidity, which is good to see. And then also the launchpad. It's cool to see because I noticed they had a launchpad and I noticed their project was the only thing in it. So it's like, well, this could be a launchpad that no one ever ends up using, which wouldn't be super beneficial. So the fact that they have someone else using it also is very exciting. Crypto winter over. Probably not. Honestly, I think we're in just a flat market. The most important number that I look at every day is I look at the total market cap of crypto. Is that going up or down? So, in October of last year, we were at 2.9 trillion, I think. Now we're at 1.2 trillion, which just means there's not a lot of money coming into crypto. So again, that's where if there's not a lot of money coming into crypto, then the Ponzi Projects that require new people coming in are going to struggle unless they have a revenue source. Calculator Guy just did a video explaining all the different types of stable coins. Yeah, that's awesome. And actually, Calculator Guy is coming onto my channel to talk about his favorite stable coin yields. So yeah, he knows that a lot. Top 5 alternative stable coins, mainly from DeFi. Oh, yeah, MDB Plus is looking really good. Elephant, if they can reclaim their peg, I think is really good. Who else? What other ones do I like? I mean, a lot of the tune forks, like Grape Finance. I mean, you might as well consider Grape a stable coin. You know, it's pegged to the price of MIM, and like they've been on peg for so long. Like they've been over pegged for so long, it's crazy. I mean, it's basically been a stable coin for the last 3 months or so. So yeah. Bro, another big Ponzi. A Ponzi with a revenue stream. So I mean, it remains to be seen. I definitely don't believe that Orbital is going to bring in 125,000% APY. So you know, if they keep that 125,000% APY for a year, then yes, I would agree it's probably Ponzi. But there are revenue streams, and so I'm saying no to it being a Ponzi for now. If you have time, don't forget to check out Monterey Bay Aquarium. Yes, that is our plan to go to the aquarium here sometime today. What are your 3 stable projects that you have? So number 1 is yield nodes, just because they have a revenue stream and it's been given about, it gave 6.5% return in April or in May, 8% return in April. So yield nodes would be number 1. Oh no, hopefully I'm not having internet problems. This is deja vu. I love EMP. They're a tune fork pegged to the price of Ethereum. I love Grape Finance. They're a tune fork pegged to the price of MIM. I love Elephant nodes, or Elephant Money, excuse me. So those would probably be my favorite right now. I do love MDB Plus. I do love Sphere, that they're switching off of Rebase. This one is interesting, but I would consider it more Dgen instead of stable, just because we're on day 3. But it could move to that. Cornelia says no whitelist for TiShare. Everything is fair launch. We will have incentives for earning TiShare. For example, P shareholders at Piggy Finance get TiShare drops. You'll need Titan to earn TiShare. Okay, so there we go, straight from the horse's mouth. Not that you're a horse. But yeah, appreciate that, Cornelius. So no whitelist. Dynamic tax would have helped to prevent Wells dumping. Yes, that could be something. Tough question, but what made you shift from covering more Dgen projects to quality projects? The answer is I realized there was a disconnect between me and my audience, because if you look at like my projects, so I have like almost $1 million in DeFi. Okay. And then I ran a software company and I sold my software company. So I have $1 million in the stock market. I have $1 million in real estate, and I have $1 million in crypto. And so when I'm looking at Dgen projects, and if I throw in 5K into a Dgen project, well, there's about half of me that thinks, okay, I'm probably never going to see that 5K again. Then there's a part of me that thinks, hey, that 5K could 10X and I could get 50K out. But what I found, and so I would make a video about it, and like, hey, I might 10X on this project, but I might lose it all. And what I found, though, is that a lot of my viewers are not in that same position. They're in like, hey, I have $25,000 life savings, but then they would still do what they saw me doing, and they'd put 5K into a play to earn game of they put in a fifth of their life savings into a play to earn game. Then they lose it, and then everybody would be upset with me saying, hey, why did you put these risky projects on here? And so I just realized that, hey, there was a disconnect. Like, I was not intending these play to earn games to be like super good investments. They were supposed to be like just a fun, you throw in a little bit of money. It kind of like, honestly, going to the casino is kind of what those are similar to. So eventually I realized most of my audience are looking for safer plays, because losing money is the worst way to reach your financial goals. It's the number one rule in all investing. It might sound like common sense, but don't lose money. You know, a small return is better than losing money, right? So I've kind of shifted more to those. Let's see. Yeah, it'd be nice to see. I'm not sure what YDZ is. Yieldzilla? Is that what you mean by YDZ on Orbital? Let's see. Good spots to eat. Elephant Money is a winner. What are your top Dgen projects? Yeah, that's a great question. Probably right. Honestly, of the ones that I've seen recently, every project there's a risk reward ratio. And so if you're getting in early and it's Dgen, it's high risk, high reward. And of those, honestly, this is one of the better ones because they have a revenue stream. I do really like Sphere. I think they've moved away from the high risk, high reward. They've moved a little closer towards just a solid long-term project because they turned off the rebasing. MDB, Million Dollar Baby, would be one of my top Dgen projects. I had an AMA with Dex Finance yesterday. Really liked them. 100 Days Ventures. Really liked those two. Although one thing I'm noticing is we're seeing a lot of launch pads now. So I do have concerns, and that's something I would like to ask this team. So maybe Cornelius, if you want to touch on this. But yeah, how do you attract people to your launch pad opposed to, other ones that are coming out? Because it can become just kind of like a buzzword. Like we have a Dex, that could be a buzzword. We have a launch pad, that could be a buzzword. So those would be kind of my top Dgen projects. Trying to think what else I'm really excited about. I mean, Great Finance is one of the things I'm most excited about right now because it's just been printing so much money. That's been saving my journey to 10K a day, basically. EMP and Drip, I wish would. I don't know, anybody here? I'm pretty sure I got banned from the Drip Telegram because it's telling me that it can't be found when I try to open it up. So I'm pretty sure I got banned. I just came out and said that I didn't consider Drip a safe investment. Drip is my biggest holding by far. I've been in it for a long time. But what I don't like is that like people who I told them to get in here are doing great. People who I had told to get in up here are just doing terribly. And so I just had some people ask me, do you consider Drip a safe investment? And I said, no, I don't consider it safe. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I'm waiting to see a bounce. That's what you'd like to see. I mean, this is their 3-month chart. Okay. I mean, that's pretty bleak. So I'd like to see a little bit of a bounce. And if I saw a bounce, then I would say, hey, Drip is really good. But just not seeing that. So anyway, why did I start talking about Drip? I don't know. I was talking about things I'm excited about. And that's when but I'm pretty sure I came in and asked some questions in the Telegram group, and I'm pretty sure I got banned. So that's fun. But Drip is still one of my biggest holdings, so I hope they're able to figure it out. It's not your fault that people invest more than they can lose. Yeah, it's not my fault, but I do want to I want to be useful to my audience. So I want to shift my channel more to education. And like, I really want to be a bridge for normal people to get into crypto. So I'm actually working on a training course to like help average people get into crypto and into DeFi. So what are your thoughts on node projects implementing maintenance fees? I hate that. Dislike it very much because it's like we already put in a bunch of money, and then it's kind of like they act like it's a revenue stream. But you're taking my money. I already gave you some of my money expecting a return. Now you're taking more of my money, and I don't like it at all. I'm not a fan at all. Scratch that. T-shares will have whitelists. T-shares will also have a pre-sale. So I'll get in touch with the team about maybe doing some kind of giveaway or something like that. Some projects like Reflex Finance are also focusing on Launchpad and Dexus, so it's a competitive market out there. Yes, and one thing that interests me about Orbital and Maybe the team can talk more about it, or maybe they have in some of their AMAs. I don't know that much about it, but what Dgen told me was that they are making it very easy for you to create a fork. So like I would like to create a DAG tomb fork. So a tomb fork that's pegged to the price of DAG, Constellation DAG, because that's one of my top long-term projects. And so it'd be awesome if I could get like an AP, but they don't have a very high APY on staking DAG. So if I could get some kind of an APY on staking DAG, that would be very cool. And so if Orbital makes it really easy to like, hey, fork tomb, and then, you know, I could do something like that, then that would be very interesting. So TIE shares are also used to earn BNB on Orbital by being staked. So you stake your TIE shares, earn BNB. The BNB is going to be generated from Orbital's trading fees. Let me finish what Cornelius said here. So basically, you own a piece of the DEX. Okay, so yeah, very cool. The NFTs are commemorative to reward early investors on the pre-sale. And you think Sphere will boom once it becomes deflationary? I don't know if it will boom. I'm looking at Sphere as a long-term play. I actually have an AMA coming up with Simsala soon because they've got a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of revenue streams in the works. They have kind of a pretty unique thing that they've created with their the way they're doing their liquidity, and they're allowing other protocols to jump into it too. But basically, they're allowing you to invest your liquidity pool in a way to get a return on your liquidity pool. So that's kind of interesting. NAS was a failure except for Horde for now. Yeah, and what, you know, we're realizing this very clearly now, but it was just I think my kids and my wife might have to come in to get their swimming suits for the beach. I probably should go here pretty soon. We got over an hour here. But we found they were fundraisers to build something else. And we just have not seen any of the NAS projects build anything yet. Like we've heard a lot of promises that, hey, we're going to build this, we're going to build this, we're going to build this, and it's going to bring in revenue, but we just have not seen it happen. So yeah, their tokens are all going to zero right now. I won't be touching a node project ever again unless it's buying nodes and EMP money, as they are different. Yes. So EMP has nodes, but it's just part of their ecosystem. So yeah, definitely agree. Drip needs more utility, or could say some utility. Maybe once Animal Farm is fully up and running, Drip will see a bounce. Even then, it's only hopeful. Yeah, I agree. I am still hopeful. Forex Shark's smart guy. They've got a very large community. Here, we're gonna say hello to my family here real quick. Come on in, Hayden. Come say hi. I'm doing a live video. So this is my son Hayden. This is my daughter Ella. This is my son Everett, and they're getting ready to go to the beach. So I'll probably be hopping off here soon. That's my wife, Alyssa. Alyssa, you say hello.
Hello. Hi. Going to the beach. Bye.
Okay, you guys go get ready. I'll finish up here. Yeah, don't change in front of the camera, please. That'd be. Probably have to delist this video. So you guys go get changed in the other room. So, but thanks for saying hi. So Orbital will offer those services kind of like hire a dev. So you don't want to learn Solidity. Yeah, that would be nice. It seems these days the best safe plays are with projects or assets with little to no price movement, but produce consistent yield. Anything stablecoin, basically. Yes, I agree. And I don't like things that primarily reward in giving you more of the token, just because then it makes it easy to sell. So, and I do like projects that give you rewards based on the revenue they're actually bringing in. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, Everett, if you change, make sure you don't change in front of the camera, okay?
I'm not. I'm changing in that bathroom.
Okay, yeah, change in the bathroom. Went all in on the Titan pre-sale and haven't looked back at. Hey, actually, Everett, can you stay out of the camera view? You're too cute. It's going to be distracting. Amazing utilities and great future plans. An exciting journey ahead, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Yes, thanks for your feedback. Just wondering. I'm excited to make a video about it. So I'm glad I got this out. Let's see. I think we'll probably hop off here because I think they're going to be needing me to go to the beach with them. Creating their own chain, I don't agree with that being a good revenue source. Yeah, it really depends. I mean, if you can create a new chain and get people to use it, it will be a good revenue source. Like if you're, there will be a lot of revenue that comes in through that. The problem is, why would someone use your chain instead of the other chains that are out there? That's the problem that these people who are building chains are gonna have. So yes, I'm excited for AMA with Sphere. And actually, I'm going to be doing, I think, monthly AMAs with Sphere. We're going to be doing regular ones. Great session today. Hope you do more of these. Yeah, they're pretty fun. I'm glad my internet's holding up too. It's been great. Are my family Titan investors? I suppose they. If I am, then I suppose they are. My wife does not really get into crypto very much. I've tried getting her in, but she's not too interested. Yabonk says, "Sup to the Pelton family." Yep, that's the crew. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, and if the students staying with us, if they come in, I'll introduce them as well. Have you tried out Elephant Money's new redemption raffle update? No, I've heard about it. I actually have an AMA with Bank Teller scheduled as well, because they've got some new stuff going on over there. Oh, that scared me with the bathroom door opening. Good job, Everett. The community on here has been asking multiple questions about Chameleon. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah, I have not looked into it. I saw on my tweet about this video, I got a ton of people asking about Chameleon, so I'll have to look into it. I have not looked into it at all. Yeah, another question about Chameleon. I'll have to look into it. If you want to have someone from the Chameleon team reach out to me too, I'd love to talk with them. Yes, and I do have a Lava Financial AMA tomorrow as well. Yeah, and I think it's a common thing. For some reason, crypto is a young man's game. I do not know why. There's not. I don't know why that is, but it's like not like my audience on YouTube is like 99% men, which is surprising because I feel like I'm good looking. You know, like you think there'd be more women, but no. See, hype for this is big. Twitter is key. Thanks, James, for your answer. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and hop off here, head to the beach with my family. But yeah, thank you, everyone. I want to say thanks first to the Titan team. Cornelius, thanks for being here. I hope I did justice to the project and kind of what's going on and just getting some attention on it. Again, it is available for sale now. So if you want to, go over to Titan.finance, you can read their white paper, hop in their Discord, ask some of your tough questions there. Take a look at the chart. You can buy right off Orbital Swap here, which will go, it's kind of ironic, but you're using the project. So your transaction here will support the project. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, and I want to thank all the audience. Again, I love doing AMAs, and there's always a risk when you do an AMA that people won't show up. Okay. And so if people didn't show up, then what would I do? I wouldn't have anything. So I just love that, we had, I think at one point we had 140 people on this live stream. So appreciate all you guys, and please do, leave me a like, hit me up on Twitter, shoot me a DM. It takes me a while to get to all of them. You can join my Discord group that I try to get to and answer all the questions, every 3 times a day or so, just whenever I have a free minute. Usually, I'm going to be honest, usually it's when I go to the bathroom, is when I hop into my Discord channel and like, hey, who's asked questions? What's your opinion on this or that? So appreciate all you guys very much. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And it's hard for me to even say goodbye. Like, I'm having so much fun just talking with you guys. But we'll do this again sometime soon. So hope everybody has a good rest of your night. Thanks, everybody.